Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I'm going to talk about power in a van, and when it goes wrong, what that means and how you get it fixed. My camper van isn't finished yet. As you can see, there are many aspects that are not finished. However, the power kit has been fully installed and powering my van. I've got the Ecoflow Power Kit, and I've got three 2 kilowatt hour batteries. They give me 6 kilowatt hours of usable power, and you'd think that was an awful lot of power. The problem that I had is one of those batteries kept discharging at an alarming rate. Now the problem with that is that the software in the system has an alarm and a shut-off point. Now even if you set that to 1% or 5%, whichever battery gets to that point first, you'd lose power. Not only can you connect remotely via an app, but you can actually use this remote panel to control not only your lights, but your power usage, and even switch things on and off. Now that sounds great until the remote panel and the app stop responding. Sometimes the power doesn't go back on or off. Like that, it says it's on. There's no power on, and then give it a few seconds and it switches itself off. And sometimes the app just didn't replicate what the remote said, so even though I've renamed all the circuits, it didn't show the names, and also it didn't show the output going up or down when I switched things on and off, even though they were actually switching on and off. So far I've had 2 replacement remote panels. The issues with them is sometimes when you go into the wireless connection, it wouldn't connect. And other times when you go into about and software update, it would show an error. So why do you need to keep updating though, John? Well, the thing is, this is a new kit and it's run primarily on software. So the software needs to be updated to fix errors. And also I understand that as an early user, an early adopter of this kit, essentially I'm also testing it. You can thank me later if you buy it. But I've run into a few little snags and I've responded to the team. The support team have been absolutely excellent, by the way. I do want to point that out right now. So I'm telling them the problems I'm having. They're seeing some errors in the system. They've got remote access to my system. I've given them that access. They're then applying a bug fix and sending it out. Now some of that is done via the app, which is a great app, and some of it is done via the remote. So if the remote can't see the internet, or the app can't see the remote or the power kit, then I can't apply my updates. So this panel is actually working fine, but there is a bug in it and they are going to fix it. My other 2 panels just wouldn't connect to the internet. They would literally just bug out. The issue that primarily we think that was because I was doing some updates on my app that worked fine, and then this wouldn't update, which then dropped me into a situation whereby there was a sort of a software mismatch, if you like. So the software on the remote wouldn't talk back to the power kit, and then the power kit couldn't talk to my phone via the app. Now the next thing I want to point out is they're sent a replacement remote in 2 days. I'm not being funny, folks, but there aren't many manufacturers out there where you report a problem and within 3 days you get a new product sent out. So my power kit is made of 4 things. First of all, the batteries. Second thing is the hub. Third thing is the remote panel, which we spoke about. And the final 4th thing is the actual distribution board, which connects all of those things all together. So the remote can actually turn the distribution board on and off. The hub can turn the distribution board on and off, and then the batteries just supply the power. So the remote hub, as I've said, ran into issues. The issues with the remote hub were one of 2 things. First of all, you couldn't connect to it via the app. At the same time as I couldn't connect via the remote, which meant I couldn't actually switch things on and off. Now, the other thing that we didn't understand at the time was that the app update had probably corrupted one of the updates. So that's why they sent a brand new hub out. Again, it took a week. I just can't argue with service like this, and this is the reason why I'm making this video, is because I've reached a point now where I've tested enough, I've had enough faults, I've had enough experience of customer support from them. Bear in mind, I'm a customer. It's not like I work for them or I'm doing anything else like that. I am a customer. So this product was mine, that I got, you know, back in June when they developed it and released it. So from that point of view, I think it's excellent the way they're actually providing this support to me. So yeah, new power hub was sent out in a week. I then put the hub in with the new remote, and that then fixed all those connectivity issues. So my app works fine, the remote works fine, and then all we had to deal with then is the fact that one battery did discharge quite a lot more than the others, which they worked very hard to resolve. Now bear in mind, these batteries are all controlled by software, something called a BMS, a battery management system. So they were convinced that the 3 batteries could be rematched, rebalanced via software, and they worked really hard at trying to do that. 2 more software updates which were produced to try and match that out, and in the end it was deduced that no, it looked like there was a problem with the battery. So within 2 more days of deducing that batteries are an issue, I received not 1, not 2, but 3 brand new batteries. Again, something that you just can't argue with. I've installed the 3 batteries. They are balanced fully, perfectly all the time, literally within 1 or 2% of each other, no problem, fully discharged and then recharged several times, as I did with the other one, testing it out as much as I could, and that worked absolutely fantastic. So I had a new power hub, I had 3 new batteries, I had a new remote. I still had problems. Yeah, the system would shut down power. So the system itself would still be online. However, the AC and DC circuits would just shut off. That was it. Just switch off and that'll be it. So did they just sit there and go, oh, sorry, John, you're having so many problems, we just can't work this out? No. They actually worked within 12 hours. The software team worked within 12 hours to produce 2 more software updates. Software updates that went through the hub to fix whatever bug they'd found in the hub, and also the BMS of the batteries. And since then, which has been about 5 weeks now, 4 weeks, something like that, there have been 0 issues with the system. It is flawless. The remote panel is now working perfectly. Like I say, you can go in there, touch things and play around with things and see what power you've got left. You can see what's coming in. So right now I'm getting a bit of solar. You can see what's going out like that. I can turn off the AC and the DC circuits. On the DC side, I've got all the different circuits. Some of them are not switchable and some of them are switchable, and I can remotely control those via the app as well. So yeah, am I happy with my Ecoflow Power Kit system? Yes, I am. Have I been happy all along? No. But have they looked after me and felt like at every single stage that I ran into a problem that they were on it, I'm going to look after me and sort it out? Yes. Every single stage. I am talking like several messages a day from them, you know, sort of like speaking on the phone, no issues, things being posted out literally like say the next day or same day. So I'm getting posts straight away for stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot fault the support at all. And obviously, like I say, I was an early adopter. I got kit way before anybody else got any kit. I've installed it, I've abused it, I have been remote for days. Even in obviously the environment I'm working in, where I'm actually based at a workshop, I'm still outside, so I'm still off grid, I'm not plugged in. You know, I'm providing on when I go out for a drive or a bit of solar like I'm getting now. So I am still effectively using this power kit as an off-grid kind of user. And yeah, I've got a fridge and a freezer, got the lights on whenever I want, a diesel heater on, I'm charging iPads, MacBooks, phones, cameras, CCTV, got outside lights, you know, you name it, and I am using a lot of power. So therefore, I think it's fair enough to say I am probably, of you know, a few early adopters, the one who's going to actually sort of rinse it the most. maybe a lot of people wouldn't buy this kit and they'd just kind of like, you know, use it maybe just a weekend or something like that, and therefore they wouldn't run into the same issues I've had. So yeah, I think it's been an excellent learning curve for both me and Ecoflow. Now, a lot of people have asked me, would I buy the kit again? And this was the point of making this video. I didn't want to just say, oh yeah, it's been great. I wanted to make a point of making a video to talk about why I would buy the product again. And that is the fact that I always believe that you have a choice in products, and therefore you should always choose the product that you feel meets your needs. But moreover, you feel the quality and the actual sort of, what could you say, the reputation of the brand as well meets your needs. So I'm a firm believer, for example, you know, the network that I use, I always say to people, I'm on EE, and everyone goes, yeah, but it's really expensive. I'm on 3 or Smarty and it's dead cheap. Yeah, but I'm on EE because it is the best network. I pay a premium for that. I get that. But I get internet wherever I go, and in all the different countries I've been to, I still get internet. I don't get any kind of bottleneck. I don't get limited bandwidth or anything like that. That's the same sort of concept of why I'm talking about Ecoflow like this. So I've got countless messages for them that say, you know, I'm really sorry you're having these problems, John. We're very sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the ethos that I think, personally, it is the biggest weight to carry on a review, is the people that are supporting the product. So you've got people that made it, you've got a company and their ethos, you've got the product engineers and everything else that make the product, and then obviously everyone else in the meantime is just shipping out a product. Only when that product, you know, fails or you run into an issue is when you speak to the customer support people. They've then got to go and speak to the developers and the engineers and all that and get their help to fix things. So they've got the toughest job, I believe anyway, of all the bunch, because they've got to not only deal with me and you, the angry customer, you know, I can't freaking switch my lights on, can't have the heating on, keep switching off randomly. We're not the best kind of like mindset when we contact customer support. So they've got, I need it fixing now, and then they've got to go back and take that information back to the R&D team or the engineers, and then get the fix and then bring it back. And this is why I am singing the praises with Ecoflow. It's not a sponsored video, by the way. I just felt it was about time to make this video. However, I do actually want to do something else as well, because as I said from the start of this video, I actually use an Ecoflow external power pack. I use the Delta 2, and that has kept me going on the days where the main system has actually failed. So I've actually been able to switch everything over in the van and power things. And I wanted to do something for ages now, and I've never bothered doing it because of all the other brands out there that are all producing power packs. I've always been dubious about, you know, like they send an email, John, would you do a product test review of our power pack? And I'm like, no, not really, because I've got one that works. However, with what I did recently with the trip over to Ukraine, I obviously contacted a lot of power pack companies who'd offered me one and said, yeah, send it over, I'm going to do this with it. And they're all fine. So I've got one, which is a total random product, just picked out, that I'm going to compare now against my Delta 2, just so you know what the competition's like out there. And, not being funny, but it's also a bit of a message back to Ecoflow to say, you could do better. So let's go and have a look at the two products now and compare, just so that you know, for the price that you're paying for all this gear, which is the best out there to buy. So one of the biggest things I also want to really do is compare products like for like, actually like for like, and properly tested, which is why I've been using these to actually sort of power my van. If not just to recharge the batteries in the main Ecoflow kit, but to actually, you know, power my fridge, freezer. Obviously you can see in the background there's a coffee maker. So all that kind of stuff is used for me to fully test these power banks out, as well as making sure that they will actually power MacBook, cameras, all that kind of stuff. So each port is fully tested to its max as well. And also that I do actually sort of like make a note of recharge times, discharge times, and all that kind of stuff, just to give you as much information as I possibly can without being over the head technical and all that rubbish. but so that you can make your mind up, because these are a heck of a lot of money. And if you go and purchase any of these, you want to know that your money is being spent on something that's going to last you for a long time. And that's my point behind doing these videos, is that I appreciate a lot of you are going to go, well, I don't need to do anything now. John said just buy that one. I need a power pack, so I'm just going to buy that one. And that puts a lot of weight on my shoulders to make sure that whatever I'm saying is factual and I can stand by it. So yes, I do test them, sometimes to death, sometimes to destruction, but never anything that I wouldn't consider to be normal testing. So if they don't fail, they're pretty damn good. Or if they do fail and they're replaced, then the company's pretty damn good too. So this is the first little product I want to look at, the Afri. I have no idea if I'm saying that right or not. But yeah, similar sort of thing to the Delta 2. You got 12 volt sockets on the front, two 3 amp barrel connectors, a very interesting 25 amp connector, which, yes, Ecoflow and other people, we need that, because that means that I can plug into the electrics, I can run fridges, diesel heater, lights and charge phones all at the same time off 25 amps, which you can't do off a 12 volt connection like a SIG lighter connection, because that's just limited to 10 amps. So yeah, happy with that one. QC3 chargers as well as type C. So yes, you can charge an Apple laptop and things like that off there. Got a little light as well, several different modes on it. It is heavy, and unfortunately there's no wireless charging on the top there, but you know, it's a decent bit of kit. And three 3-pin plugs on the back there, which it does say it's rated 2000 watt total, so you don't get 2000 watts per plug, it's 2000 watts in total. So you've got AC input for charging and also DC input as well, so you can either charge while you're driving off your SIG lighter socket on your dash, or you can plug in up to 50 volts of a solar panel and charge it off solar. It's quite a decent spec as well. 2 kilowatt inverter with a 4 kilowatt peak, and just about 2000 watt hours of battery as well. So yeah, not a bad bit of kit. Price wise is probably comparable with everything else on the market, and considering it's a brand that no one else has heard of, you know, that's obviously a concern, that you're spending the same price as other brands that give you 2000 watt hours of power, when you know you don't know what the support or the people are like on this one. So far I've caned this quite a lot. Obviously when I had problems with the van, I've plugged this in to actually recharge the van, so I've caned it an awful lot. I've run all my stuff off it, and I can't say that I've had any problems whatsoever from it. It's been pretty good, even to the point of when it's on charge or when it's on full discharge. So when it's providing sort of like, you know, 2000 watts of charge back to the van here to top up the van, those fans on the side are very, very quiet, which I can't say so much for the Delta 2. So the Delta 2's got these 2 big fans on the side, and when you're on full whack with this, or when it's on charge, you really do hear those fans whirring away. So yeah, that's probably the only thing I would say. Well, apart from the fact there's no wireless charging, bit of an oversight there I think. And unlike the other one, all you've got is the 12 volt socket on the back there. That is for charging, so that's for either, you know, SIG lighter socket or solar, and that's your mains charging. I do like the fact that both of these come with just a regular cable, so both of them, they don't need an extra brick or anything like that. That I find brilliant. So this is the spec of the Delta 2. Obviously only just over 1000 watt hours, and 1200 watts max on the AC. And like I've said before, this product stacks up because of the customer support and the quality of it. That for me is the reason why I would choose this product, and have actually chosen this product, over buying something like that. So this is just over £1,000, £1,100 thereabouts, a few pound less, and that is just a few pounds short of £1,700. Now yes, it is twice the battery power, than this, but it is also twice the weight. And in my tests, powering my van, sort of recharging my van from this and that, when you bear in mind that this is 1,000 watt hours and that's supposed to be 2,000 watt hours, this is where it changes up a little bit, because this can power my van on a percentage terms more than that can. So whilst it claims it's got 2,000 watt hours of power, it's only ever given me about 1650 to 1700 watt hours before the battery just falls flat, whereas this one will give me the full 1,000 watt hours of battery power it's got in itself. And then to replenish that, this will charge much faster to recharge itself all the way back up there in roughly about 80 minutes. So that's 1,000 watts fully charged back in there in 80 minutes. That one to recharge its, well, I'm going to say 1600 watts, but it's going to say 2,000 watts, is going to take 5.5 hours to fully recharge. So think of it this way, I can use it, recharge it, and use it again in the time that that's going to take to charge once. And that's why I think that is a far better product, because it's smaller, it's more capable, it's a better built product, and it's more versatile than that big thing. But if you don't need to carry it around, then so be it. Or if you're using that solely as your power system because of its 25 amp 12 volt connector, then so be it too. You go on a campsite, plug in, you just got to wait 5.5 hours for it to recharge, as opposed to that recharging, well, most of the time in less than an hour. I also wanted to let you know as well, obviously I've had a little bit of a chat with Ecoflow about all their products and new products coming out and things like that, and they've actually done me a really big favour, or they've done you a favour actually. If at the checkout on the Ecoflow website, there is a link down below as well to the Ecoflow website to look at the products, but at checkout, if you're buying any products, if you enter the code Gadget John, then you get 5% off your order, any product. So yeah, 5% off the original price, but all the links are in the video description down below. So that's a link to the Ecoflow store and also the Gadget John if you want to copy and paste the Gadget John code to get you the 5% off. So yeah, grab a bargain now, because 5% off some of these products is a big saving. Just thought when I was putting them on there, is my worktop going to be strong enough for those two? But yeah, obviously I wanted to make this video about all sorts of things related to power, to give you an overview of how my power system's working, and also my backup power system, and a little comparison to compare actually my backup power system with something else that's on the market and that I got hold of. Yes, they have supplied that free of charge for a review. This is that review. But they do know that it's going to go to a good cause, and yes, there is going to be some more information about the Ukraine trip soon, of which that is going to be a part of. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. But for now, if you've got any questions about any of this, any questions about my power kit, any questions about these two products or what I do to test them, you know, if you want to validate my tests compared to your tests, or my real life experiences against what you're hoping to do, and will it work, obviously just hit me up in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to answer your questions. All right folks, take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later. Bye.